Holy shit. Oh man, I got the sickies. So normally we don't do game time, but we're gonna do game time because I came across this really based game. And the thing about Linux is a lot of people are afraid to switch because they're worried that they won't be able to game on it. I think it's somewhat uh this is the kind of retarded shit though that you run into. Um is gaming over ITP, I wish. This is the kind of retarded shit you run into when people talk about Graphene OS. They say, like, you can't, your banking apps don't work, so they do work. You can either install it in the Google Play service. And this is actually not a Graphene OS issue. This is just a safety net issue. I believe it's like something to do where they do like an integrity check in order to know that like this is like a verified way. Something to do with their apps and safety net, and something with Magix or something in the background that forces like this check verification. But you can do it pretty much like in you can install it like pretty much via the Play Store app. And people say the camera's bad, but people just make this up. It's just the Google Play. Um, it's just the camera. Does eepsites billygame.t? Let me see. Damn, I closed Firefox. Firefox Hair Game. Everyone says the camera sucks on it, but it doesn't make sense. It's literally Gcam, but I think it's stripped down. It's Gcam, but it's stripped down of the telemetry and something else. I think it doesn't do anything like special. And I believe on like a newer update, they had to like enforce some integration with it to it. I have to reread the docs. I'll have another like Graphene OS update video coming soon. I have to go read through their channel log again. Billy Gaming.I2P. But again, people just assume with Graphene OS way too much. And if you're If you're that worried about a camera, then I don't know what to tell you. Just get a DSLR for a fraction of the cost and just go analog, buddy. So I came across this game called Datacenter. It's pretty cool looking. You build a data center. Look at me, guys. I'm employed. Hell yeah. Beer? Oh no, frame drops. Game's ruined. Where's my project manager? Hell yeah. We're gonna do Darknet. No LACP, STB block, nice. Spanning tree protocol. Switch. No LAPS. Any network engineers in the chat? No. Oh, FE interact. There we go. Let's go to shop. Where can you access Proxmox VE? What do you mean? In the game? Oh. Yeah, guys, where's Proxmox? Why is there no Proxmox? That should have been... so how much money do I have? Oh, I have lots. Should I buy just GPUs and just do AI? Nice fiber. Do I need a rack first? Oh, network. I have nothing. Let's go 2U server for that XP. What the fuck? My XP is 0. Oh, 0. I need a server rack. And then... this is just money, baby. Oh, I'm just buying patch panels. Huh. Mount the rack, reward 80 XP. Oh, okay. Where's my order? I'm dying. It says mount the rack on the motherfucker. Oh, no. This isn't really informative. I checked out. Oh, maybe I gotta like open this or something. Huh? No. I have none. I spent money. Maybe I'll buy this again. Oh. Maybe... Oh, wow, it's giving me actual... I bet this game uses Kubernetes instead of Proxmox. Well, Kubernetes is a container platform, so that would be wrong. Proxmox is a hypervisor. Because you can run, you can run Kubernetes on bare metal. Kubernetes is more of an orchestration, right? Now, where are these mother... This isn't really informative. It says remove cable. No cable found. Maybe I should have done tutorial? Oh. Where's Magic the Gathering? God damn it. Ryan shows up the one time I'm gaming. That's funny. We've become a data center manager, man. I just want to know where the fuck my equipment is I bought. Inventory? I want to fight someone. Where is my network rack? God damn it. Oh. Maybe that's it. No? Oh. Here we go. Yep, just gonna put that right there. That looks right, right? Q for drop. E. Q. Yeah. Damn it. I'm just gonna carry it. I don't got that much. I got. Why was the best sleeping pad for a bicycle trip across the US? Why are you trying to do that? I've always wanted to bike across the U.S. That'd be super sick. Probably just like a foam pad, like a sleep number or something. That was weird. Okay. I do watch a lot of, what do you call it, bikers like that go across the United States. It's pretty sick. There isn't there, yeah, and I figured the reply would be better than any AI. Oh, nice. Good luck. I wish I could do it. That'd be sick. Probably like a sleep number, like pad or something, like the rolling. Actually, Japanese futons are really comfortable, and you can compact them. Like really good Japanese futons, they're really compact. I mean, they're kind of expensive. You got to pick the right one. But probably just any like foam like sleep number foam sleep number foam pad like pad. It depends. What kind of bike are you using? Are you using like a road bike? There was that one guy. He ran a web. Only wussies can do it. Nah, it'd be sick, man. If I had the time, I would do it. I should have done it when I was younger and more in shape, and had less responsibility. There's that Appalachian trail, but there's that one guy who he like biked across America. No, he bikes across Europe and he runs a website from it. Okay, I have 150 XP. 230. Damn. What part are you gonna bike from? A mixed bike, road, gravel. I mean, I'm 38. Either do it now or never. That's old, Ryan. This man clearly doesn't have a family. Nice. Road bikes are cool. They just be hurting my back. I wonder if anyone's e-biked across the U.S. Well, it's not giving me any more XP. I'm assuming anyone can. You can do it at any age as long as you're in good health and you have the money and the time. Buy System X server. Buy the Switch online store. See it later, Bill. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? Just buy the Switch, but I don't have enough XP. End of life 4 hours? That's crazy. Goodish. You don't have enough EXP? Download Windows XP now. Windows XP, the worst one. Okay, we got our first network server, guys. The top position. Recommended. Just give me the worst server room in history. This is what I want my house to look like. I don't need... Look at that baby. We're being DDoSed. Yeah, there's no way he'd be able to do that by himself. Okay. Any network engineers want to help? Is this optimal? Is this... Buy System X server. Risk servers, Risk 5? You sick, man? I don't even cough that much with the free vapes. I am sick. I don't get sick too often when I do it. It is very painful. Oh, wow, these look like Google servers. That's why I haven't been... I was going to post something the other day, but I felt like shit. I was going to die. I felt like I was going to die. You got unlimited budget, guys. Government money. With a free vape. Wait, there's free vapes? What does free vapes even mean? Yeah, we're gonna... Huh. Let's see. I'm going to connect the server with the cable switch. 10 gig? 10 gig? Should do redundant. Sign for a customer. Before this recommend to have 8 servers already connected. Okay. Let's drop this. COVID, would you mind putting a mask on your mic so I don't get sick too? No, I think it's something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's just the common foot fungus or something. This is very unorganized. I wonder if I can. There we go. Hell yeah. I'm more efficient, kind of. What is up with you and playing games that you could do IRL for money? Are you handicapped or something? Yeah, of course. That is true. I do have a weird thing with game. I play a lot of games where I could be getting paid money in real life. Now that I think about it. 2, 3, 4, 5. What other simulation games have I played? I played something else. I'm the most employed person on the planet. Working in a computer farm sucks. Yeah, I assume it's probably not super fun. It's probably loud and the pay's probably not as good for what you know versus working from home. But it's kind of one of those jobs that probably needs to be done. Look, I just want to be unemployed. Pay was good. I was making around 100K 40-hour working in a server farm. Now, how do I get customers? Oh shit. It's fucking. Oh, very good. Oh, those are just cables for like cable holding. Okay. Oh, this is it. Huh. Dad joke database, UF download station, Bermuda Triangle backup. System X service requirements, 14,000, reputation 0, reputation 0. Okay. Turn on switch, turn on server, set customer. Set the IP based on the application subnet. Have customers to switch you installed, set up IP, and dad joke. If you forget how to fart, who could reach you? I'm not sure. Tell me. Cable customer to switch you installed, set up IP and customer on the server. Oh, okay. Oops. Let me remove a lot of these cables. Oh, the switch, damn it. Don't work for others. Don't listen to Ryan's employee tips. A tutor. I just hope the data center is encrypted. No, it's unencrypted. Maybe the tutorial. Oh, maybe I do this. Is this working then? Interesting. That's the gateway. Huh. Oh, that's all I had to do is press E on that. Well, that's not good. Maybe I should do one of those tutorials when maybe it goes beta. I think you can really take off as a streamer if you promote yourself on piracy forums and subreddits. I think you're able to improve your video thumbnails and even try using AI. God, that sounds terrible. But yeah, that's probably I'm experimenting with some thumbnail artwork. I just don't like it. I don't like editing. That's my problem. Editing is like the most cancerous thing to me. But there's always, I understand there's things that people are, you're not going to love everything about things you do. Like a little sketch in AI. Yeah, I have something I'm working on. If I didn't get fucking blasted by the sickness, I would have finished it by now, but I will I do have some thumbish nailish perspective that I will be working on for something. I think so. Like my biggest, I think the biggest misconception with Graphene OS right now is that the Google Play service is like it like hurts you and it's like an invasive privacy. And I believe that there is a private way to have like the best of both worlds, where people want updates and they want to be able to install their banking apps like on Graphene OS. And you're very consistent and never stop uploading videos, but you're missing those. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I always appreciate feedback, whether I actually do it or not is the real. It's never out of hate. But I'm going to. Oh, a tutor. Who couldn't reach you? If you forgot how to fart, who? That's funny, actually. Fart jokes are funny. But I'm going to. I'm working on a video where I think it's pretty easy for people to obtain like a Google account for the Play service if they're going to use any way to install in their banking apps. Use Aura Store for Google Apps. God no, Aura Store is dog shit. Just use a Crescent. And from what the Graphene OS devs and people in like other forums, and from my understanding of how it works, is the Play service with Graphene OS is a compatibility layer, and it doesn't actually like Google Play apps, as in like where people want to get the applications from the Google Play Store and not worry about updates, and they want to use their banking apps. That's generally the concern. So like apps that are kind of like only at the Google Play Store. Most apps actually work without the Google Play like Google Play Store or like the services. But for the people that want those specific apps and the updates, Google Play service actually doesn't get any special permissions with Graphene OS. It acts as like a compatibility layer, so it kind of works on top of it. It doesn't get any extra special access, where vice versa it might get in like other instances. And it pretty much will only log your IP address, and it will obviously, probably for like whatever reason, it will also probably get your device identifier, but that's like really not something to be worried about because it's on a mobile operating system. It doesn't really look, it says, hey, I'm on a Google Pixel. That's really about it. And that may be about as far as it goes from what I understand. So you could fundamentally get it as long as you use a VPN and you sideload the VPN first, and then because it doesn't get installed with Google Play services in the beginning, you can actually install it in the private spaces if you want a less invasive and constantly like running perspective. You can install it just in the Google, just in the private spaces, and then separate your profile as much as possible. I'm gonna get some water. So it's not really as invasive as everyone makes it out to be. And so Aurora, from what I understand, doesn't actually, it uses a lot of, pretty much from what I understand, Aurora uses like a global like profile, which can cause banning. And there's no app integrity check as well, so you're just downloading from a list of repositories. So from a security standpoint, if like if it was like malicious or anything, or like if it was running anything malicious in the background. You wouldn't really have a way to know this on the sense. And then if you log in to your account or like an anonymous account, there's not really a way to check the integrity of the apps, and you can't really achieve any higher level of security or privacy anyways, because most of these apps that you are downloading, if you're logging into them and they already know you, there's no really good way to like maintain like an app integrity check, from what I understand, and from a security standpoint, it's just not good. They also I think the way they do their signing. This has like been like a thing with F-Droid, but F-Droid has somewhat fixed it, I believe. But there's still like some disagreement how F-Droid. A Crescent is kind of like the next, like in order how I see most people say the best option is like Google Play Service, then a Crescent, then Obtanium. Because Obtanium, you can get the update, make sure you get your security updates and everything. You can also make sure that the apps are verified through like the signatures, and then you can go and make sure that you have automatic updates turned on. Then on top of it, a Crescent makes sure that all the apps are signed and everything is securely done, and you know that it's coming from a trusted source, and you can get timely updates. The Google Play Service is kind of like the same thing. Aurora Store is just, I know a lot of people, and also I believe they lag behind in the updates as well. Like that was like one of the criticism of F-Droid is that updates don't come fast enough because, and this may seem like it doesn't matter, but if you're looking for a security-focused operating system, you want to make sure that you're getting updates as soon as possible, especially with critical security vulnerabilities. I have the same faith in Google as the other app store. Same difference at this point. I mean, you could not really. I mean, there are some like valid points on like updates. I'm talking about like normies that don't know how to check app integrity, and like normies that don't actually go in and update their software. I think that it is more of a net positive than handing someone like kind of like a rogue way to download applications that's kind of somewhat done improperly. This is what a Crescent is supposed to be solving at this point. It is adding more and more apps as we go. Oh, what's up, Doug? Thanks. So, like, I mean, for a long time, and I understand that like people have like their opinions on like where applications come from. On a fundamental level, I agree that people should be able to download whatever they want. It's their choice at the end of the day. Because it comes to really a user choice. Like I still use F-Droid for free and open source applications that aren't on the Play Store, and I like to test out in a sense. But app integrity and understanding where like the source is coming from is kind of important, especially like malicious apps exist all over the place. I mean, if you just like talk to like normal Android users, a lot of them do download really shitty apps from the Play Store that are like cleaner apps, and I think that is kind of like a problem. But at the same time, most of the time you could realistically be safe that like this is Facebook from like the Play Store. This is this, and this is getting this update from like X, Y, and Z. Same thing with like F-Droid. This is why I think WireGuard fundamentally like left, is because of the way that they do like their packaging and like their updating, and something to do with like not just their like app signing or anything. But I'm talking about like the vast majority of like regular users that don't understand like app signing and don't understand where like the source coming from and like updating. Like I think that it is a net positive to be able to have a private way to have the Google Play services like on Graphene OS, especially how they handle it with the compatibility layer and the fact that they can get timely updates. I think that would be a better option. Compared to a normal person like me, I generally pick Obtanium first when it comes to like my applications and where I get it from, then a Crescent, then the Play Store, then F-Droid. I mean, that's how I would do it, because I understand how to like go and fetch like signatures for applications, make sure that I'm getting it from a trusted source, and I'm getting timely updates. I also update all the time. I'm on Graphene OS Alpha, where I'm getting the updates much sooner, and I even use the the pre-security updates for my device as well, where I'm getting technically not open source security updates, but they're being delivered to me before everyone else ahead of time, and then once they are source available, they will be open source. And I think that if security is like your highest fundamental standpoint, that is going to be the best option. While I don't trust the fact that it's not open source and that it is, this is like purely a Google thing because they're not releasing them as early. Graphene OS doesn't enforce this, but they give it as an option now. And they even said it themselves. I mean, why the Aurora store was kind of like, I mean, there's threads on it. It's actually quite interesting to think about. So a good example of this is back in early December, I saw somebody. Ooh, cloaked. Kind of a. There was like a discussion about it, if I can find it on a forum somewhere. If I can find the forum that explains like the Aurora store's like biggest problems, it's hence why that it's kind of the reason why Obtainium is now like being offered as like the best alternative to the Play Store, because you're getting applications directly from the developers. Same thing with like F-Droid. Same thing with F-Droid. The Play Store, just really at the end of the day, because Google isn't getting anything special, I think most people can just get it from the Play Store. I mean, I know it's a heated, like, debated topic. It's kind of like getting the latest update and using Alpha as a security hole. How would that be a security hole? I'm just pre-testing software. It's not. It's really just a stability issue, actually. That is like kind of like the real problem. So like Graphene OS releases these things beforehand, and it's really a stability issue that they say that if it's your main device, you shouldn't do it for stability. I've never had a stability problem. And I would say Bleeding Edge is actually more secure. I mean, they'll catch bugs and they'll catch software glitches way before and push it out. That's why I'm on a Bleeding Edge distro. I mean, I get updates much faster. I'm just an LTS hater too. I think we're thinking like two different things in terms of like what they mean by alpha. Did you not learn anything from XZ? Yeah, I watched it. Are you talking about the Linux like vulnerability that happened? Wasn't that just really because they switched over? Somebody took over somebody took over the project, and no one decided to do any form of integrity check because it was out of scope. It could have been caught, and it did get caught, and that was the point. Are you talking about the compression thing? The main point of that was that nobody was actually checking through. I just listened about this. Nobody was checking the dude's work. They weren't. Nothing was throwing out red flags. Like I remember listening. Bugs happened. Like bugs were happening in the software. And are you talking about like the XZ like compression tool? And it was a dependency problem, but like bugs were happening in the software, and they were just like, oh, we don't know how to fix this, and then the maintainer was like fixing it, when in reality he was just doing like exploitation. I mean, that was like more of a supply chain attack than anything. Supply chain attacks are like impossible to like really defeat against, besides doing a software like transfer of trust. I would say even that it, like, from what I listened to, even the people that like were working on it, they said that they should have done more vetting of the software. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, could something malicious be integrated into a part of Android that we would never know about? Absolutely. I mean, like, Ken Thompson proved that he can put a backdoor in a compiler and no one would ever know in the C compiler, and it would be undetectable, and it would be a problem for until the end of time. I mean, there are probably insecure backdoors that exist everywhere that will like maybe never know about until later in the future. It's kind of like your hardware. How can you trust your hardware? Can your hardware? I mean, the chain of trust comes down really at the root level, in a sense. If you build secure software and you put it on insecure hardware, then you fundamentally have an insecure system. You do have to have security all the way down to the roots, like a tree. If you don't have security all the way down to the roots, then it becomes a level of trust, and then that's where the chain of trust comes from. I mean, when I bought my laptop, I am entrusting that they didn't put malware in my fucking CPU along the way, and a way you would actually beat that, I think, is something with dash arrow and core boot, I think, is what it is. Oh, plus heads. I think heads is the one that does the integrity check, and Linux for a long time has not had a trusted boot. I think that's what trench boot is meant for, so that we can have a chain of trust from all the way down from the boot level. Yeah. Like, this is a very cool project. Choose your firmware. It's very sick, but I remember you can get this, and actually they'll give you like a separate key in order to insert, in order to confirm the integrity of like the software. I mean, that's what CubesOS kind of takes the approach that it's not there is no trust, but you do need to make sure that your hardware comes from a trusted source, and that like it's fundamentally secure from the ground up. Core boot is a better, more transparent option than like obviously proprietary firmware. And then you have Libre boot as well, but Libre boot is like, I believe, like super unmaintained and kind of gross, and it shouldn't be used. But like, this is like a long-standing like argument between like GNU, the Free Software Foundation, versus like CubesOS, or like any other secure Linux distribution at the time. They fundamentally think if you have any proprietary software inside there, it's not free and open source. Even though like CubesOS, I think, follows suit, but they because they have some proprietary blobs inside their whole Zen hypervisor and like some other components, it prevents them from being certified as a free software foundation like OS. But it is a chain of trust thing that you have to have. Like, I mean, there's going to be a level of, unless you build the CPU yourself and the hardware yourself, who do you trust? I mean, it's a very difficult thing to actually do. Did you learn anything back? What's up, Billy? Did you take a nap? How do you keep to keep my sleeping pad from being hacked? Then you should add dude. Funny story. If Doug is still here, I bought a pair of heated. If he's not, it's okay. But I bought a pair. I bought a pair of heated hands, like heated heated gloves, and they got fucking Bluetooth in it. That's crazy. I want to show somebody that does any form of like Bluetooth, and it's got an app for it. And these are like off-brand shit. And I was like, I need to show somebody this. That fucking Doug Funny, no Douglas Hubbard. I wanted to show somebody this fucking thing, and I'm like, or what's that other guy's name? Matt. Like, why does my heated gloves have a Bluetooth in them and an app? That's crazy. And I was like, this has got to have some funky malware, or like sending it off to like somewhere. I want to download the app on a device I do not use and just see what it does. Like where the traffic goes and everything. It's very interesting to have an application for heated gloves and Bluetooth integrated into it. It's got to be like stealing something. Like it's very interesting. I would even say that Matt Brown. I have you on it. I have you in the background. Matt Brown. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Matt Brown. I was like, someone's got to look at this. It's got to be one of those. It's just got to be one of those. One of those things that that I would not trust putting on my phone, but it's such an interesting. I got them really cheap too. I was like, this is such a. I was like, oh, this is a really good deal. I've needed heated gloves, and then I noticed in the corner it was like Bluetooth enabled, and I'm like, Bluetooth enabled? That's weird. In an app, in an integrated app, that's interesting. I'm like, why the fuck would you put Bluetooth in like heated gloves? And then why would you have an app for it? I just thought it was quite funny. I believe I could set up something that could see like some like form of like Wireshark or something, just to see like where it goes. Or I think there's something called PCAP on Android where you can see like where traffic is going, or maybe like rethink DNS or something, or like just be able to like sniff out like what this Bluetooth device is like what when it connects, like what information is it sending out to where. It's such an interesting thing to see like that in the big 2026. Later, Bill. Maybe Billy's taking a nap, guys. Okay, back to the OPSEC Bible. Being lured into meeting someone IRL. Now this is going to be another good one. Is identity segmentation is kind of the most important part. Now we live in a really like open ecosystem where people bye bye Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. I wonder if I could play that without getting a DMCA strike. Bill. Ryan left the Discord, so we don't believe you. So I think that good identity segmentation is kind of like a very complicated thing to actually achieve in the big 2026, but it's not impossible. Now, one of the biggest things that you run across when you want to actually like maintain like anonymous is keep third-party integrations like as low as possible. Obviously, none if you can, but there are certain things. Just sing it. You have a beautiful voice. Shut the fuck up, Brian. It's one of the things that like I think people will like kind of like you go into like your big box retail stores or whatever, and you'll hand them like your email address and you'll hand them XYZ, and inevitably it's going to be sold or dumped in a data breach, etc., etc. Now, this is kind of like a very difficult thing to convince your loved ones around you to accept in the beginning, but it becomes when you actually approach it with what I would say a very sensible, non-schizophrenic way, and you remove the privacy implementations, and you remove the urgency of it, because I think people are going to then just think you're trying to sell them something, or they just don't want to. It's going to be difficult or whatever. Most of the time, when I always talk about is when I convince people to somewhat Discord wouldn't log in without camera access. Fuck that. Cap. You're joking, right? Then just join our Matrix channel and conversations XMPP for the boomer, because you're a boomer. They're bridged to Discord, so you don't even need to use Discord. You can just join XMPP or AK. You can join XMPP or you can join Matrix, and it'll be bridged to Discord, and we can all we can chat in between all three. That's crazy, actually. I didn't know that. I rejected it. Huh. That's weird. So identity segmentation is like a good way to kind of reach a way to have some sanity in real life. So most of the time when I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, I want to, I hate like XYZ, I target that. Like, I hate XYZ as in like I hate ads. Like, say you have a wife for whatever reason, and your wife is like, I love coupons, I do all the couponing in the house, I'm the coupon lady, whatever. Doesn't matter. But they're like, I hate spam. They have like 30 emails. Everyone knows somebody has fucking 30 emails. They're like, I have 30 emails for this, and this. And you're like, that sounds really annoying. And then they forget all these passwords, and then these passwords get leaked, and they have terrible OPSEC, and it's not the point. So you can just introduce them to something very simple that doesn't require privacy talk, doesn't require you to make them think that they're like crazy or hiding anything. Email aliasing. Email aliasing is perfect. So coupons are obsolete. No, dude, people definitely use coupons. Are you kidding? Oh my god, have you ever went to the fucking grocery store? Oh my god, there's that one person in line. Whatever. I respect the hustle. Like if you can hit the coupons. More power to you. Yeah, so Ryan, if you want to join the cool base stuff, just hit that tree link and let me know. You can join any of the other glowing bunkers, and they're all connected. So like if your wife does all these things, or she just hates ads, or your husband or whatever, if you're gay, then you can really like easily enough get an email alias. I use a non-addy. They're great. Simple login's great. I believe, what's their name? Um, IVPN's going to do it. They're going to eventually. I think they're rolling out something. AdGuard has one. Pick one. I think a non-Addy is good because they accept Monero. I'm a Monero maxi, I guess. I like buying stuff with Monero that I don't own. If you take it and all you have to do is just purchase it, it's like $12 a year, or it's free. They have a free option. Whoever made it is super based, super awesome to give such a free option. I don't think that because a low tier option is free. Bill AB 130 passed in California. Midnight BSD have modified their license to exclude residents of California from using Midnight BSD for desktop users effective January 1 of 2027. I'll look into that. Wait, can I do a breaking news alert? I'm not surprised. I mean, it's kind of shocking because California has the Delete Me Act, which is one of the best things they've ever done. Hold on. Sound effect. Wait, no copyright. Not getting a copyright on this. Guys, we have breaking news. Bill AB, what? I can't do that. I'll kill myself, actually. If I... All right, let me... I can't seriously do that. This is serious. Maybe I can. I could never be a news anchor because of this. Guys, breaking news. Bill AB 1043 has passed in California. RIP to all the cucks that live there. I'll look into this. It doesn't really mean anything. Bills can get shot down. I don't know if it's been passed. And then Midnight BSD. Okay, click the link so you have my IP address. And I just click on your YouTube channel. I would never put anyone's. I would never have an IP address stealer in my links. I always copy them clean links only. I mean, you can just go on my YouTube channel and follow it. That's fine. I do get to see my analytics do get to see like everyone that clicks it, but it doesn't tell me anything actually. Midnight. Introduced. Okay. AB 1043 is introduced Wix privacy. I don't follow anyone on YouTube. RSS feed. Fuck the world. I can see my followers list, Ryan. Existing law, the Information Practice Act of 1977, declares the right to privacy is a personal and fundamental right protected by California Constitution and by the United States Constitution. All the individuals have the right of privacy in informing. Are we looking at the same bill? Oh. Is it the Assembly bill? Oh, here we go. I'm not subbed to anyone on YouTube and fuck the world for the win. Don't lie, Ryan. We all know what you're sub to. BigMommyMilkers.com. Okay. Okay, so the bill beginning in January 1st, 2027 will require, among other things, related to age verification with respect to software applications. An operating system provider as defined to provide an accessible interface at court account setup that requires an account holder as defined to indicate the birth date, age, or both of the user of that device for the purpose of providing a signal regarding the user's age bracket to applications available, covered in applications stored, and provided a developer as defined who has requested a signal with request. The bill would prohibit an operating system provider or a covered application store from using data collected from a third party in an anti-competitive manner. This seems like it actually doesn't enforce it unless they. So existing law generally provides protecting for minors on the internet, including the California Age Appropriate Design Code Act, among other things, requires a business that provides an online service product feature likely to be accessed by children to do certain things, including estimated age of children used with a reasonable level of certainty appropriate to the risk. It just seems like they're just saying you have to put in your age, which that can be faked. If they have to do that, this is probably going to, from what I understand, I'm already reading, this is going to only affect Windows and like things that have like accounts for it. Like Linux does, you don't have an account with Linux. You can set up Linux from fucking like a USB stick. I don't even know how that would be. This would be even possible. The bill would punish non-compliance with a civil penalty and enforced by the Attorney General as prescribed. The bill would declare its provision to be servable. The people of the state California Act is followed. Okay. I'm going to have to read all this. Man, I did not drink or smoke enough weed for this one. I'm kidding, guys. I don't do drugs or drink. I'm a clean, straight edge individual. Okay. Existing laws generally provide protections for minors on the internet, including the California Age Appropriate Design Code Act, other things that provides online safety products likely to be accessed by children. Local account is still an account. I have an account on Linux. What are you talking about? You have to have an account to use Linux. No, you don't. You could just set it up live. Tails. Explain Tails OS. Checkmate, loser. The bill, things estimated to rise from, and in a local, you don't need an account. Yeah, what's an account? You just have a user, and what's the definition of an account and a user? Does user mean account? They would have to define account and user. Local program, it says no. Fiscal community, yes. Appropriation, no. Vote majority. You just need to make a name for it. And yeah, good point. But are we all going to be forced to use Tails as a daily driver? Nope. You still need an account on Tails. No, you don't. What do you mean? Local account? It's not an account, though. And they wouldn't be able to prove it. These local, like, well, you could daily drive Tails, but you also, like, in a sense, like, it's not an account. You don't even need to connect. You don't even need to connect your Linux distro to the internet. You can set it up with none. No, Ryan's not trolling. Ryan's real. Ryan's real retarded. Okay, so including the estimated age of child users with reasonable level of certainty appropriate to the risk arise from the data management practices of the business or apply privacy. And a lot of Linux distros aren't businesses. So like what are they going to do? How are they going to knock on the door of every like maintained distro? Like maybe like Ubuntu because they're like an actual company that's owned by Canonical, maybe like Fedora or Red Hat because they're owned by IBM. But like the vast majority of Linux distributions aren't like actual companies or like real places where you can just knock on the door and be like, hey, you didn't incorporate age verification. Please show me your balls and put them in my mouth. An account setup. Oh wait. The risk arise from data management or privacy data protections affordable children to all consumers. Features from, among other things, using dark patterns lead to encourage children to provide personal information beyond. Okay. This bill, beginning January 1st of 2027, would require, among other things, related to age verification with respect to software applications and an operating system provider as defined to provide an accessible interface at account setup that requires an account holder. So Linux doesn't require an account holder in an operating system provider. They're not really operating system providers. I mean, like, that's kind of like an interesting way to put it. Like, if I'm in like Italy and I'm the maintainer of Giant Big Balls Void Linux OS, how the fuck are you going to serve me an NDA? Like, how are you going to serve me anything in order to do this? So this is like, it's very nonsensical. Even if you live in California, I think this is a non-issue. I don't know if it got passed yet. I'd have to. I'll get to that part. Set that requires an account holder to indicate the birth date, and it would. You can just, if it's asking you, just put a birthday check mark in the front. Sure, whatever. I mean, like, that's gay, and they shouldn't do it. They could just fake their age, like everyone did on MySpace, so they could talk to Big Mommy Milker on the internet, or when you entered Pornhub before you were 18. Are you 18? Me looking at firearms at the prime age of 16. Are you 18? Are you 21? Yes. Like, if it's just a button, yes. I just committed a crime, guys. Wait till you find out about piracy. Like, I think it's lunacy, but I mean, cover store provider, a developer, and as defined, who has requested a signal with respect to a particular user with a digital signal via reasonably consent real-time application program interface regarding whether a user is in any of several age brackets as prescribed. The bill would require a developer to request a signal with respect to a particular user from an operating system provider or a covered application store when the application is downloaded and launched. The bill would punish non-compliance as a civil penalty and enforced by the general attorney, as prescribed. Account holder means individuals who is like at least 18 age of a parent legal guardian and user who is under age of 18 in this state. Account holder does not include a parent of an anticipated minor or a parent legal guardian who is not associated with the user's device. Age bracket data, whether user is under 13, whether user is at least 13. Covered application store means publicly available internet website, software application, online service platform. Distribution facilitates the download application for third-party developers who uses a computer and mobile device or any other general. What if I code my entire device on a vape and I host it on a vape? Does that mean that they can take me down now? What do they mean by developer? Means a person who owns and maintains and controls the application. That's retarded. There's tons of developers who don't own or maintain or control an application. They just like to do git pulls of femboys. Operating system provider means a person or an entity that Operating system provider, a person or entity that develops, license, or controls the operating system software on a computer, mobile device, or any other general purpose computing device. Signal means age bracket data sent by real-time secure application program interface. Operating system user means child. Provide accessible interface to the account setup that requires an account holder to indicate date of birth. Blah, blah, blah. Developer shall request a signal with respect. Oh, that's a lot. Operating system provider or a covered application shall... the title does not modify or impair the surprise. This title shall become operative on January 1st, 2027. Delivery of physical product. Telling users state code. Damn. RIP California if this happens. Enrolled, passed in the Senate, passed in the Assembly September, amended. California legislation. Amended. God. Damn. Let's see. The Linux version of Google Chrome is now imports. We got, this is from January. Well, I can get a t-shirt from Midnight BSD. Just run BSD, baby. It's running from a flash drive. The BSD for everyone. I should support them by getting their shirt, so everyone knows that I'm a BSD enjoyer. It's Unix system. I know. Oh my god, this is awesome. I should get this. This is based. Apparently, this was a real thing too. Like these types of things. This is like AI bullshit. The Linux survival gun, CD projects, LS Tech LA, grep error logs. What? This is a terrible shirt. So he CD'd his project, he LS Tech LA, grep error logs. Okay, CH script, sudo apt update, sudo apt upgrades. Oh, this loser's using fucking Ubuntu. Yeah, no shit. I should make this, but in like the void version. XPBS. Someone needs to make a Gen 2. A Gen 2 version. I wonder if there is Gen 2. Gen 2 merch? No? If there isn't, this website sucks. Interesting. Well, these motherfuckers had from 2025 to get this fucking shit down, and they decided not to. How gay. Wow, they changed the age. Age is a lot. Oh, wait. They have Gen 2 sysadmin because everyone... Oh. No Gen 2 Linux? Yo, that's kind of funny. They made... what's that guy's name? They made Richard Stallman look like, isn't that Chavez? That's funny. Obama. That's why I love, I forgot people use fucking Authy. Authy is absolute dog shit. Privacy guy recommended Pop OS. Michael Basil, I think is his name. But he uses cubes. Pop OS is okay. It's just based on Ubuntu. That's the real problem. Because Ubuntu sucks. I mean, like, people say that like LTS is more stable, but it's really not. It's not like any more. I've been running Arch for a very long time, and I went from Arch to Void to Gen 2. I mean, all bleeding edge, and I've never ever ran into a stability issue. Except for like Void, I have to use the 32-bit package for fucking Steam, which is kind of strange, but whatever. I just never get the people are like, sir, LTS is stable? Never seen it. Like I've never had, I actually had 2 major fuck ups with Pop OS. And I think Pop OS is great for like people that I guess like want to touch Ubuntu without touching like canonical Ubuntu. But gaming has worked outside the box of Void Linux. It just works fine. That's why it's weird that there's like gaming distros. Like there's absolutely almost no reason to have them. This is controversial take, but gaming distros are dead. They're a waste. You can set up everything in like 20 minutes, maybe 30. And I have like a I don't use systemd. I use the run it system. And I never, and like Void Linux is like super like fuck non-free software, like Musel. But like even for newbies, like there's really nothing that difficult to set up besides a few commands that get you to game on Linux. I still don't think that it's honestly not that difficult to getting a gaming Linux distro set up without the bloat, without the specially maintained distro by the one femboy in fucking Texas that's sitting in their basement and this is all they do. You know, no hate towards them, but there's honestly gaming on Linux is so fucking easy that it's almost idiot proof. Like you can just install regular fucking vanilla Debian, unfortunately, or based Gen 2 and just start game. Like you can get gaming really quick. It's not. I've distro hopped so much, and I've always gotten gaming to work within like a few commands. Like and I have NVIDIA. Like NVIDIA drivers are. I think NVIDIA kind of went open source. I'm not entirely sure with that anymore, but that's just like my that's just my perception is I genuinely think that gaming distros are just not needed. It's cool that they exist, but you can kind of just hop onto it and it'll work. Are you hacking the bald white guy? No. Are you hating the bald white? Oh, are you hating the bald white guy? Who's the bald white guy? Mr. Clean? Oh, what's his name? Derek? DistroTube? I do hate on the bald white guy. I think some of his opinions suck. But that's the beauty of Linux. You can hate on free open source software for good. You don't even have to have really a reason, to be honest. I think people would take it too serious. Like, I don't like systemd. I don't like systemd, and I don't like Debian. I'm gonna make a Debian hater shirt for the amount of Debian that I hate. And there's a lot of like Linux distros I've used and I just don't care for. And I don't think you have to go deep. Like, I don't give a fuck about dot files. That's why I don't give a shit about fucking Vim or Emacs or what's the word, or NixOS. They're like, guys, it just works everywhere. I don't care. Like, I've used it and I'm like, this is way too much work and gay, and I hate this. I just like my system to work as is, and I like the setup to be very minimal as much as possible, so I can use as much resources as I want. Like, having less bloat allows me to use as much as I can. I want. I mean, this is why I can multitask as much as I want on my PC with like not like super extreme hardware. I mean, I can see the appeal to Gen 2 for the simple fact that you can really make Gen 2 as minimal and very simple and very, very efficient as possible. I mean, you can strip down so much and make. I know people laugh at the compile time thing, but that's whatever. That's the beauty of source-based distros. You can also pick what you want to be installed. So you can have fast compile times, especially if you have a stronger PC and you have minimal software, and you can even use there's software to actually help you compile. This is how like Gen 2 servers do it. They pick other servers to help compile software, and then they feed it to like the main system. You can have other machines to help compile software with you. It's our resources, my brother. You know, the communist meme dropping right now. But other than that, like Avoid Linux has been super, super efficient. I mean, just like overall, it's probably been my favorite experience with a rolling release. and I don't have to update so often. But I did, like I said before, I had a repository issue that was like super bad, that gave me like a headache, and I still fixed it very fast. Like, it gave me a headache as in like I couldn't figure out what it was for a couple minutes because like it's Void Linux isn't as popular as like other Linux distributions. But I can even take the local repo and set up the repo locally and like use a local repository, and it'd be even faster. And like, I mean, it would take up some space, but there's Void Linux is I like the XBPS package manager. You have that thing going? I do. And if I were on my desktop, if I were to leave Void Linux because they got stopped being maintained and like something like insane happened with them, like, or like, you know, they found furry femboys in there, I'd be fine. I would just find, I would probably go back to like I'd probably go to like probably Gen 2 at that point. That's true. Wow, interesting. Many people do not know how to bookmark pages. All right, so back to the main point. Emails, an easy pitfall. One of the most common pieces of data used for surveillance is email addresses. That is true. Your email address kind of like leaks to a lot of things that you do, like whether it be packages that you deliver to yourself, what kind of places you sign up. Spy pixels is a real thing. I mean, like, you open up an email, you literally sit there and like give all this information out. Even I've talked to like advertisers, people that work just like in the advertising industry, and they're like, oh yeah, we know like how many people like open up their emails and like what like information we can gather from them, like their demographic, how much money they make. So this is like the metadata that you do not want to leak in the public. And when a data breach, and not not if but when happens, is you can actually look up, I would suggest next time you get some time, go search for yourself. See how easy it is to find yourself. Look for email addresses you've used, look for aliases you've used, look for phone numbers you've used. And people say like, oh, it doesn't matter, I have nothing to hide. You do, and eventually you will have something that you don't want to be public. Whether it be legal, whether it be illegal, is not the point. You are going to care at some point because you don't want people to ever discover who you are. This is something that I would say, even in a high sense, if you have hobbies that you like to do that might leak to your identity, you probably don't want people to know like what these said hobbies are. Or maybe you have a family that you care about. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the thing that you're protecting. It just matters that you want to protect it. I think that people really underestimate email aliasing, and it's really easy, again, to convince people to use it. It really just comes down to, you hate ads. I hate ads too. So I just take an email as aliasing service, I set it up, and then I take that thing that I shared and like Like, even when I go into public places, they're like, "Can I get your email?" I'm like, "I really don't want to give it." Do I have to? Yeah, kind of, like, for XYZ. Say it's an XYZ reason, and I'm annoying the person, I'm annoying the 50 people behind me. I will pull out my phone. I will open up my email alias app. I will create one on the fly if I have to, and I will give them this weird fucking email. And I've had people in real life that they're like, "You gave me a really fucking weird email, dude." And it was like, "Yeah, I just don't want people knowing my real email address." And then they ask questions, like, I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really like when people, like have my real email address." They're like, "What do you mean your real email address?" I lead it with a hook, and they're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to look into that." I'm like, "Do you hate spam?" And they're like, "Yeah, I fucking hate spam." Well, the cool thing is you get to put this in front of your email. You still receive your emails. It's just nobody knows your real email address. So when you want to stop getting spam from, bigmilkers.com, you can delete this and you will no longer get the spam. And they're like, "Really? How much is that?" "It's free." "Oh, wow." It's not really like a difficult conversation to have. "What's the name of that app again?" And then they download it, or like they'll maybe download it, or whatever. The point is getting the conversation going and making people think. It's not that hard to maintain some level of privacy in the big 2026, and it's really not that difficult when you come from a common user issue, not a privacy issue, not a schizophrenic issue, not a like the government's watching you kind of thing. It's coming from a genuine place of, "Hey, I hate spam," and it's kind of annoying, right? Yeah, everyone fucking hates spam. We can all agree on that. So that's kind of like where I come from. And I have like other like tactics that I use. You should create and use inside the context, laptop, virtual machine, IP address, the identity you use it for. Only use for the account and the communications where you speak things. And actually, the cool thing about email aliasing, here it is. Here's a perfect example. Alice is not using her public email to contact every person to sign up for every account to her private ID, and vice versa. So this is how an email aliasing works. So say I have, I wouldn't even do it like this. I would not do a public ID and a private ID. I would do it like this. I would make an email alias, and I would make ones that are for like stuff like this and stuff like this, and in saying use different email services for different identities, this is actually in my opinion way too complicated. This is bad because now you have to maintain two emails. You have to think more, when in reality you could just do an email alias. Email's not really that private unless you do some form of PGP. Let's get that out of the way. Your best option is to use an email aliasing that respects your privacy, where you can purchase with Monero, and not only you purchase with Monero and respects your privacy, you're signing up for things that don't reveal your true identity. And then you want to use an email company that respects your privacy. I use Tutanota. They're great. This isn't an endorsement. Proton's great. MailCow is great. Insert email is great. Cockmail is great. Whatever. Use any email provider besides Gmail. But if you do have a Gmail account, for whatever schizophrenic reason that you have in the big 2026, you can kind of go a different route. You can set up an email alias, set it up to that Gmail, and then at least people don't have your Gmail. And I've used this you can bring your own domain if you want to be super professional. You know what I mean? Like, I've used my email aliasing for professional use, for job applications. Doesn't look weird, doesn't look strange. And if employers ask about it, I'm like, "Oh, I just don't want my email getting like sold off and get a bunch of spam." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Half the time when you say I don't like spam, people are like, "I get it." They're not going to fight you on that. No normal person is going to be like, "What do you mean you don't like spam, sir?" I love spam. what an interest, you know what I mean? Like, no one rational is gonna fucking like question you on it. They might even agree with you. They're like, I hate spam too. Oh my god, I get 34 emails a day, and my wife just left me, and you're just like, so I got the job, right? All right. So now that you understand email, is you should convince people to get an email alias and use a private email provider. Simple. Now there is a correlation with naming correlation, like Superman 444, Batman 555, Spider-Man 666, JLS. People that use the same username everywhere, that could be bad OPSEC but in a sense, I would say it would be even better to use generic, like do something like nothing correlated to you and just use generic, like John 123 or Dick and Balls 456 or whatever, really, like, to be honest, and just make it generic, make it look normal. Having very unique and spooky, scary, uncorrelated names doesn't mean they can't correlate you. Just use generic basic ass bitch usernames. I think again, overcomplication, simplicity is like gonna always trump everything in perspective. Being very simple, very basic, very generic. Like if someone's like, oh, this guy used a username John654, like they're gonna be like, yeah, no shit, you and like 500 other 1,000 people. That's what uniformity looks like. So you have to then think of like a ton of other things. This is why, again, poisoning the well, taking their information and making sure that it's poisoned. Poisoned in general, it's going to give you a far better outcome in the end, because then people are just going to find, like kind of like dead data. Okay. Passwords. I would say password is a bad OPSEC failure. If you have accounts that you have access to that could reveal information that might leak to you. You should just get a password manager. Yeah, I think Ross Ulbricht is. Yeah, I think he uses real Gmail. Real Gmail. That was his biggest oopsie. Damn. That's what I need to happen to me. So yeah, he like had a pretty. If interested, please send your answers to the following rossword@gmail.com. It's funny when people would spell out the actual email. It seems like some boomer shit. Maybe at the time it wasn't allowed. Maybe people were scared of the @ symbol @gmail.com. What an interesting. We should start talking like that again. I came across this website called Silk Road to allow you to buy and sell anything online anonymously. I was thinking of buying it, but wanted to see if anyone here had recommended it. I found it through silkroad24wordpress.com, which have a Tor browser. If you have Tor, your site, let me know what you think. It's pretty simple. Ross used an identifier for both Silk Road and Matters, also for giving out his publicly identifiable information. He used his fucking first and last name. Terrible idea, by the way. I feel like even at the time, doing this would have been pretty bad. Like you're doing something illegal. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just brain cooked. Black pilled, I would say. God, everyone thinks you need to remove your camera and your microphone from your phone. Oops. AeroPress is the best method for coffee. What's an AeroPress? Stop messaging in the wrong chats, man. But what's it? What the fuck is AeroPress? I'm still trying to figure out how to use Linux without an account. How do you remove the root? Well, root isn't an account. Like, there's no attachment to root. And again, you can use Tails OS. There's no, like, actual, like, account. Let's see. Will they deaf for privacy? Yeah, but everyone says that. I think people are fighting. That's all that matters. I'm sorry your wife left. She was probably a CIA. Exactly. You understand it. All wives are CIA ops guys. If you have a wife, no, you don't. She's a federal agent. Here's Linux, no account. I can even open up Firefox. No account. I have all the software I needed. I have Firefox. I have Thunderbird for some weird reason. Ryan Jardina has balls. Ryan's balls, not the Northern Lion. See, I can internet search. Open a terminal. No, I deleted it. I'm sorry. You don't need to use the terminal for Linux, man. 2020 was the end of the world. No, remember 2012? Remember that movie too? 2012? I don't know what the terminal is, sir. I'm just a normal user. "2012", that movie that was like the end of the world, that was kind of funny. But I still love you. You also don't know what an account is either. I just told my wife, are you a Fed? Oh, you just asked your wife? Well, what's an account, Ryan? Explain. What's the definition of an account? And what would make it forced to do age verification on account if said account exists? Does root entail an account? Does that mean everyone has an account? How can we define what root is? Root is a user. Does user need an account to be a user? And yes, Jay, your wife is probably a Fed. Okay. So identity segmentation is going to be your kind of like your golden nugget of information that I recently moved into a place that had a router left behind with free Wi-Fi. I gave into the temptation and I've regretted it ever since. Keep up the good fight, bro. I recently moved to a place that had a router and a free Wi-Fi. Yeah, I mean, for all you know, that they could have stole your secret banana bread recipe. That'd be scary. I do get I guess like I do get curious when I see stuff that is like left in the open, like free Wi-Fi, or like I just look at like the Wi-Fi signals like in my neighborhood, and I'm like the names they use, and just probably assuming people have really bad password hygiene. I'm always assuming that people like probably don't realize how kind of like insecure their habits are, and it's not really their fault because no one really teaches you this kind of stuff. I mean, it's kind of normal not to, but I have an old router from a long time ago when I got into self-hosting because I didn't want to pay a fee, like a rental fee. And I think it's one of the routers that like I could tear apart, and I believe it's got its UART UART, like it's pins exposed where you can like inspect it, and that'd be kind of cool to like just do. I just got some like jumper cables recently, and it's definitely interesting like what information is thought like kind of like leaked out there without even thinking about it. Sometimes I also like when I go to those like sus websites that have like like there's like malware on there, and I'm like I want to like infect one of my cubes on my machine like with malware. That'd be kind of cool. There's some guides I'm looking through right now to see how I would achieve this. I could maybe do it live, but it'd be kind of difficult for the simple fact that you have to obviously kill the network with when you're looking at malware, because you don't want it to obviously infect like anything that's like really important. But there is like apparently some software you can install that will create a fake network, because if you kill the network, a lot of malware will be like be like, hey, there's no network. This is probably a virtual machine. It becomes like self-aware and it stops working, and it's unobservable. But it'd be cool to get like some like encrypted malware that encrypts my drive or something, and it's like you have to pay 67 Bitcoin in order to do this, and obviously I would never do that. And it like encrypts like my drive on like my virtual drive on Cube's OS. I wonder how Cube's OS handles like in getting infected or compromised. Honestly, it'd be cool to test out. Maybe it would have been cooler to test out when I didn't have my fucking password manager on there and stuff. And thanks, I appreciate it, man. But guys, I appreciate everyone stopping by. Most importantly, I always love everyone that comes by, and I always love everyone that interacts with the comments, so YouTube knows I'm a real person and they enjoy me as a person as well. I have nothing bad to say about YouTube. It's the greatest platform on the planet. They have done no wrong, and they know that I enjoy their platform. Make sure below you comment your favorite type of grass. There's tons of grass out there. All grass is good. No grass is bad. And make sure you enjoy the rest of your night. I appreciate everyone. I'll see you in the next one.